good evening. How are you doing? So tonight we are making a vegan risotto. I've already got it started. All I've done so far is I'm just sauteing up some shallots. So I've done about 6 shallots because they're quite small. But if you're going to just use regular onions, which of course you can, you might want to use like 2 medium or 1 large. So they're just cooking up in a small amount of olive oil there. And right now I'm ready to put the next thing in, which is some diced carrots. So with the risotto, you can of course use whatever you like, any vegetables. I'm also using some of this isn't chicken pieces, but you can use similar things. You could use some sort of hammy, bacony stuff or anything like that you might want to. So really a lot of this is me just using up what I already had in the house, what sort of things we had that needed cooking. So I've got shallots, carrots, and now I'm popping in a red pepper that I've chopped up. As you can see in this other pan, I've got a pan full of vegetable stock. It's simmering away. I don't need it just yet, so I'm just going to keep it on a low simmer until I'm ready for it. But it's always a good idea to get that started when you start the cooking of your veggies. Just sort of get some stock ready to rock and roll. So I will now add in, I've got an aubergine here, which I've sort of diced up.
If you're American, I believe that's called eggplants.
Yes, the Americans do call them eggplants. We call it an aubergine.
I think the countries are in enough of a relationship to know which.
I think so. I think everyone knows this fact, right?
And when they say pants, they mean trousers.
And when they say vest, they mean waistcoats.
And when they say jelly, they mean jam.
They do.
Yeah, they do.
Okay, right. So aubergine is in. And then I've also got some mushrooms. These are some mini portobello mushrooms. I've just chopped them up. So we pop those in as well. So now what I really need to do is just let all of these veggies sort of cook down for about 5 minutes. At which point I'll be ready to add the rice and start turning it into a risotto. But what I will do just now, oh, I've lost a little bit. I'm just going to season this. So I've got some salt, and I know I'm just pouring salt in here, but in case you were wondering, what I actually is pink Himalayan salt, and then my pepper is like ground black pepper. So just in case anybody was
that pink Himalayan salt, is that the stuff that Jamie Oliver went and got?
He definitely mines it from the foothills of the Himalayas himself. Good old Jamie. Right, so I'm just going to let this cook down for a few more minutes until we're ready to do the next thing.
Okay.
Okay, so it's been a few minutes. I'm just going to add in my, this isn't chicken pieces. I've just chopped them up a little bit more than what they were like in the packet, because some of the chunks are quite big and I wanted it to be a little bit smaller, so I'll put that in. And I'm also just going to add in some garlic powder. I would usually use fresh garlic, but I hadn't realised that all my garlic has run out. I think it's because Summer's been cooking quite a lot of garlic pasta recently, and I had noticed the garlic stocks depleting. So anyway, garlic powder's fine. It's always good to have some on hand for such emergencies. So I'll just give this another minute or two.
Looking really good already, mate.
It is, and it's smelling pretty decent as well, isn't it? Okay, so now we're ready to start turning this into a risotto. So I'm going to use, this is a Borio risotto rice. So there's quite a few of us here tonight, so I'm just going to add in a fair amount. I mean, if you read the packet instructions, it will tell you how much you should be adding per person. I think it's about 75 grams per person. But as you know, I do things by eye, and to me, that's the right amount. Okay, so stir it through, and then I'm just going to add in some white wine, like so. And just combine this all just for a minute or two. before I start adding the stock to the pan. I'm also going to pop in, I've got some fresh rosemary from my garden, 2 nice sprigs. It's always nice to put some fresh herbs in, especially with a risotto, you know, the rice absorbs the flavours really nicely. Right, I'm now ready to add my first ladle full of stock. So I always keep my pan with my stock very close on the next hob. And to start with, I add 2, but all of the rest of the time I'm just going to add it one at a time. Okay, the reason I add 2 at the beginning is because when you start cooking risotto, it absorbs the stock and it cooks off very quickly. The further you go into the process, it takes longer to absorb. So this first one will literally take about 30 seconds to be fully absorbed or to cook off. But after that, it will take a little bit longer for each one. So essentially, I won't show you the entire process because it is quite long and arduous and the whole thing will take about half an hour. But essentially what you do, you continue adding the stock 1 ladleful at a time. Now you will know when you're ready to add the next ladleful, because if you draw a line through the whole of the pan with your spoon or your spatula, see at the moment, see how some liquid is flowing in? It's not ready. When nothing flows in, when it's dry on the bottom, you add another ladleful. So probably be just a few more seconds and that will be the case. So I'll show you that one and then we come back to you later on when we're kind of like nearer the end. Okay, so let's try that again, Andrew, if you want to come and have a look. So there, as you can see, no liquid is flowing in. The bottom is dry. So we're ready to add a ladleful of stock. Okay, and I'm literally, so with a risotto as a meal, you can't really leave it. You can't keep it on and go and run off and do a job. You need to be there the whole time whilst you're cooking it.
I just need to go and change a tyre.
Well, that's fine, because I'll still be here as long as you don't need me to help you change a tyre. It's always worth, also in that case, keeping an eye on your stock levels. If it looks like your pan's running a bit low and you're not ready yet, you need to get some more stock going on. Don't run out when you need it urgently because it will all go peaked on. And the stock needs to be hot. You can't add in like cold stock or just tap water. Keep it hot and you'll be okay. So we come back to you probably in about 20 minutes when we're nearly done. Okay, so it's almost ready. I've just had a little taste of the rice and it's practically done. It should be al dente, so slightly firm to the bite but cooked through. So what I'm going to do right now is just add in our last few ingredients. So I've got some frozen peas, so I'll pop those in, and also some fresh broccoli, which I've just cut up into small florets. So this stuff doesn't take that long to cook, just a few minutes. So that's why I'm adding it in right towards the end. If you put it in sooner, it would be a bit overdone, especially the broccoli. You don't want it to get all wilty or anything. So I'll probably need 1 more ladleful of stock, and that will be sort of the end of this. Once it's done, I'm just going to add in some, I've not got much left actually, a little bit of nooch, a little bit of nutritional yeast, and a small amount of cheese, which I'll grate into it. I've just got that much left in the pack, so I'll use that. And also a little bit of oat cream, just to give it a nice creamy sort of texture, nice creamy sauce to it. So let's just let this cook down for another minute and then we'll come right back to you. Okay, so we're nearly done. I've just turned the heat off because the rice is cooked perfectly, everything's cooked through. So I'm just going to add these last few bits in. So we've got the nutritional yeast. It's probably about 3 to 4 tablespoons there, maybe like half a cup. The last little bit of that grated cheese that I had. You can add more cheese in, this is just what I had. You can also stir through, so if you've got like some cream cheese, that also works quite well. I'm going to add in a bit of the Oatly creamed oats, sort of oat cream. Nice squidge of that. And then I'm just going to combine all of this through. I need to at this stage remove the sprigs from the rosemary that I put in earlier. So I did 2. Let's see if I can unearth the second one whilst I'm doing this. If not, it's not a problem. I can always take it out. I'm sure I'll find it when we come to dish up. No, I'm not seeing the second one. So I will find that one when we dish it up. It's had a little bit more. Might as well do all the rest of this oat cream actually. Gives it a nice kind of creamy sauce going on. Now there is still quite a bit of heat in this pan from when I've only just turned it off. So all of these ingredients are going to kind of melt into the rice mixture. So what we just do now, I'm just going to actually pop a lid on this and just let that sit for about 10 minutes and then we'll be ready to dish up. So it's all ready to dish up. Let's have a look and see what it looks like. So let's pop the lid off. It's all nice and steamy still. So yeah, I mean, this is it. So in Italy, I believe risotto is considered to be like peasant food because it's something that's really cheap to make, and traditionally they would kind of just add in whatever ingredients they had to hand for it, which is kind of what I've done tonight. And with the current climate and everything, with things being a bit more expensive, it's actually a really cheap meal to make. I mean, really, the This Isn't Chicken was the most expensive part. I think it was about £2.70 for the packet. But all of the other ingredients, especially things like the carrots and the broccoli and the peas, it's all really affordable. Now, this pan will probably serve easily like 6 to 7 people. And it's probably only cost about £7 or £8 to make. Maybe a little bit more because of the cheese and the nooch and the cream. But you're probably looking at about £1.50 per portion of this, which I think is really quite decent price for a really delicious home-cooked meal. That's what it looks like. And of course, you could serve this with a side salad or with some crusty bread. But we're just going to take it as it comes.
We're going to eat like we're paupers.
With out of the trough.
Now, I know because we keep going on about Jamie Oliver, who's an English chef, and another English chef is Gordon Ramsay.
Oh, yes.
Who's done a lot of work in America, hasn't he?
I think he's quite well known there.
Yeah.
He's quite well known for not being very polite. He drops a few F-bombs every now and again, doesn't he?
He does say fuck a lot.
Andrew!
I know.
Or Gordon!
There was a clip where he put 2 pieces of bread on somebody's head and said, what are you? You're a fucking idiot sandwich.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds like Gordon. That sounds like the Gordon we know and love.
Yes. But yeah, I do remember, I'm sure, him doing something about a risotto and saying it's a pauper's dish and that, but being very passionate about how a risotto should be done.
Yes.
So, Judy, in a more sensitive way, you're also very passionate about your risotto.
I'm very passionate. I love a risotto. I do. It's one of my favourites.
It is, and I got to admit, I never used to eat risotto at all. And
have I introduced you to the cuisine?
It's a really good dish.
Yeah, and you can add in some much more expensive ingredients. You can add in some nice asparagus or tender stem broccoli and things like that. You can make it really snazzy, and a bit of lemon zest also goes really well in a risotto. You can make like a lemony risotto. This is quite a basic version.
Yeah.
But once you've got the basic concept, you can flip and change it and do what you want.
I mean, that is just obviously just a bowl of risotto, but yeah, you can throw some salad on there or whatever it is, or maybe some bruschetta bread or something like that. Jazz it all up and everything.
You can definitely snazz it all up.
But that's just a straight up paupers risotto. Are you going to try a little bit of it?
Yeah. I'm going to eat the whole thing, Andrew, not just try it.
I know. Are we going to try a little bit on camera?
We can try a bit on camera. I'm not shy. I'm going to really enjoy this tonight.
What's going on there? What's going on with the flavours?
Well, it tastes creamy. You can definitely taste the rosemary coming through. I got a bit of mushroom in. I love mushrooms. Mushrooms are like my staple. They go into everything.
Mushrooms are a little bit hit and miss with some people, aren't they?
Mushrooms, yeah, I think they're a little bit of a marmite. I'd say probably more people like mushrooms than don't like mushrooms.
Well, I like mushrooms.
Yeah, and it's also got the mushroom and the aubergine combo. They're my 2 favourite vegetables. So for me, this is a winner, vegan dinner.
Okay.
Enjoy the rest of your evening, my darlings.
All right.
And we'll catch up with you real soon.
Come on, let's eat some dinner.
Let's eat it.